Chapter 80. Divine Martial King. Silver Moon City. Sima Changkong accompanied a middle-aged man out of the number 1 piano building on this street. The middle-aged man was dressed in plain clothes. His face was broad, and his eyes were as deep as a pool of water. Between his steps, he invariably had a great momentum. Even if Sima Changkong stood on the side, his momentum was far inferior to it. This street first piano building. It's really extraordinary. In the land of the Thousand Islands Sea, there's actually such a wise man. The middle-aged man sighed slightly between his steps. Your Highness, our details came from the news. Gu Hai and Long Wanqing and his party went to the Love Flower Valley, and Liu Yongwang army is a good fight. A song of ambush and 10 sides big break broke an east wind. But a wizard, not only the chess road, zither road is also extremely strong. To 71 years old to do this point, but is not the world's material. Sima Changkong sighed. The middle-aged man's eyes narrowed slightly and nodded. The most stunning is still that plan to destroy the song. Heh. This king sent a large number of people, spread the world to search for talent, but still missed this person. A pity. Yes, Sima Changkong sighed slightly. The personnel in charge of the Thousand Islands Sea region. This is dereliction of duty. All of them are removed. The middle-aged man said in a deep voice. Yes, Sima Changkong answered. Long Wanqing has been tracing her mother's murderous revenge all these years. But it has been fruitless, and this time, there is an additional Gu Hai. But Gu Hai is heading straight to Yingju. And according to my information, he has looked for the former city lord, He Shikong. Following that, he traveled south and met with Huang Fu Chaoj in the Love Flower Valley. This Gu Hai should have found out something, Sima Changkong said in a deep voice. The two of them boarded an Immortal crane car. The middle-aged man nodded. His eyes narrowed slightly and said, You said that last time. Mo Yaika also wanted to invite Gu Hai. Yes. At that time, my subordinate was busy with business and sent someone to go. But unfortunately, he was one step too late, and so was Mo Yaik. That Gu Hai was shrewd as hell. Sima Changkong laughed bitterly. No matter. It means that Gu Hai also doesn't want to enter the Liu Yang King's residence, and the Love Flower Valley designed to escape. The Liu Yang King wants to take him in, but it is impossible. Perhaps he has already found out the cause of my sister's death. The middle-aged man frowned. Your Majesty, we still have a chance. Do your best to get Gu Hai into my Divine Martial King's mansion. Sima Changkong looked towards the middle-aged man. The middle-aged man in front of him was the third prince of the Great Jin dynasty, the Divine Martial King. The chances are slim. The Hall of One Piece belongs to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Great Jin dynasty, to be precise. It belongs to the Sacred Emperor's personal army. Do you see that the Sacred Emperor doesn't listen to a lot of things? The Holy Lord is as insightful as a fire. The information we found out. The Holy Lord's bookcase. There must be 10 times more careful information than you. This Gu Hai's background is too clean. And with such a talent, wouldn't His Holiness let him be lost? The Divine Martial King shook his head. Sima Changkong frowned slightly. The Holy Lord's own army. Unless the Holy Lord himself doesn't want it, we can only fight for it if we're subjects, just like you. You angered the Holy Lord back then. So this king is only qualified to invite you into my mansion. King Shenwu laughed bitterly. Your Highness, what you meant just now, Long Xiaoyu's death might be related to King Liu Yang, Sima Changkong said in a deep voice. King Shenwu nodded. 99%. Then His Holiness knows about it as well. Long Xiaoyu is a great Jin princess. King Liu Yong killed Long Xiaoyu, and His Holiness was actually indifferent. Sima Changkong frowned. It's not indifference. His Holiness feels ashamed of King Liu Yong. No, I can't say I'm ashamed. But I need to use a soft policy towards King Liu Yong. He's not just a subject, he's a benchmark. So as long as King Liu Yong doesn't rebel, the Holy Lord will condone it. Even that sister of mine. King Shenwu frowned. The way of balance. His Holiness didn't go after King Lu Yong to smooth the hearts of those powerful people in the court. After all, there were many others like King Lu Yong who defected to Great Jin in the first place. So if His Holiness made a bold move against King Lu Yong, it would cause a backlash in the dynasty. Sima Changkong was right on point. Not bad. However, this time, Lu Yongguang did too much, my sister. But the death is to wrong, the saint, although the surface does not say, but has already begun to set up. At least, this new city in Yingju is not already out of the control of Lu Yongguang. The divine martial king smiled faintly. Moreover, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has also moved out, and Li Shenji has already led the Shenji battalion south. King Lu Yong, if he's peaceful, His Holiness, but won't do anything to him. If he really dares to rebel, the Holy Lord won't suppress him either. So I can only come and be the bad guy. The divine martial king laughed slightly bitterly. The millions of zither figurines should have been snatched away for King Lu Yong, and I observed that Yingju in all directions has nearly become King Lu Yang's country within a country, yet he has been holding back. Sima Changkong frowned. Accumulate grain widely and claim the throne slowly. King Lu Yong has a good schemer. Mo Yaika. King Shenwu frowned. My subordinate sent people to check, but this Mo Yaik also seems to have come out of nowhere. I can't find out the details. Sima Changkong frowned. If you can't find out, then you can't find out. Sooner or later you'll find out. The divine martial king nodded. Divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty. The valley outside of Divine Foothills City. It had already been 2 months. The Tree People's Dantions had yet to recover. Gu Hai had already tidied up the previous wedding hall, and Long Wanqing's hair became Gu Hai's most precious thing, carefully storing it away. Mu Chenfeng's injuries were all healed. Gu Chen went to create alone. Tree Man's Dantian, not good for recovery. Gu Hai looked at Wang Fu Chaoj, who was at the side. It can be restored. Didn't I just restore one? But to recover all of them is too difficult. More than 2,000 tree people. I don't have enough. Wang Fu Chaoj frowned. Oh, the Zhengjin divine water you used earlier, Gu Hai said doubtfully. Yes, there is a lower clan outside of my divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty, called the Zhengjin sect. In the past, the gold helmsman of the One Piece Hall, Chu Chen, was out of the Zhengjin sect. Of course, this lower clan is not one of those clans in your Thousand Islands Sea. The strength of this Zhengjin sect is no worse than my divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty. And under their command, they control 18 gigantic cities. Wang Fu Chaoj explained. Zhengjin sect. The foundation of the Zhengjin sect is a dead god of gold that has been refined to guard the Zhengjin sect. Gold begets water, and the gold god condensed Zhengjin divine water, while water begets wood. But this Zhengjin divine water can mend the Tree Man's Dantian, Wang Fu Chaoj said. Gold god. Gu Hai's eyes narrowed slightly. Huiyu. Steeply, the earth trembled, and a grey-robed man emerged from the ground, but it was the faux stone god. Your Majesty, news has come from the front. King Lu Yang's army is too strong. Our dynasty has lost 3 more giant cities, and now there are 17 left, the faux stone god lamented. The Divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty has a total of 25 giant cities, and now we've lost 8. King Lu Yang's troops are really fierce. Gu Hai revealed a cold smile. His idea is that when all my cities are lost, the Divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty's chi will be exhausted, and at that time, I won't have the strength to resist. Wang Fu Chaoj laughed bitterly. On all sides, not necessarily. I will make him sing on all sides as well. Gu Hai's eyes narrowed slightly. Mr. Gu, according to your request, more than 200 false stone men have already traveled to the various cities in Yingju, and there are at least a false stone men in each of the 100 giant cities outside of Yingju. However, Is it useful for them to go? With just a few stone men in one city, it's not like they can break through the city, much less deal with the large army inside the city. The faux stone god said in a deep voice. There's no harm. I didn't ask them to go and fight. Wait for 2 more days. I've explained to them that the agreement is to start the day after tomorrow and formally go out. Gu Hai said in a deep voice. Can they go out to fight and alleviate the war crisis today? The foothill god was doubtful. It's not easy. I'm certain that King Liu Yang will soon be withdrawing his troops, Gu Hai affirmed. Oh, he has to withdraw. I've added a big fire to his Yingju, a fire in his backyard. If he doesn't go back to put out the fire, all of his scheming, all of his previous efforts will be wasted. A fire will burn him clean. A hint of ruthlessness flashed in Gu Hai's eyes. But a city, just a few stone people, what can they go for? The foresight god said in disbelief. They're just going to light the fire, so there's no need to do much, Gu Hai affirmed. The faux stone god looked at Wang Fu Chagao. All right, just do what Mr. Gu said. You master the faux stone man's god. Just pay careful attention. And if there are any surprises, then inform them, Wang Fu Chao said in a deep voice. All right, the faux stone god nodded. Everything depends on the day after tomorrow. Gu Hai looked to the north. His eyes narrowed slightly as a trace of coldness flashed in his eyes. Exterminating Fallstone City, in the middle of King Liu Yang's study. One after another, the news of a shortcut continued to come in. In the study, a group of strategists all revealed smiles. Your Highness, the Divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty has a total of just 25 giant cities. And now we've already lost 8 of them. At this rate, it won't be long before we can hit Foothills Divine City. Not only that, Your Highness, the defeat of the army is like a mountain falling. By the time we collect another 8 cities of the Divine Foothill Imperial Dynasty, I think the other cities of the Divine Foothill Imperial Dynasty, they'd just take the initiative to surrender. A group of strategists and generals spoke excitedly. King Liu Yong also nodded, revealing a hint of a smile. Only Mo Yaika, who was on the side, was frowning deeply. Not a single word was uttered. What's wrong, Mr. Mo? King Liu Yong looked at Mo Yaik and said suspiciously. There's something unusual, Mo Yaik said with a bitter smile. What is Mr. Mo worried about? The Divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty. Now that it has become an isolated island, the surrounding clans and countries won't help them. We can only wait for us to take it down bit by bit. King Liu Yong laughed. A schemer on the side nodded and said, Yes, Mr. Mo. When the Divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty's various cities are lost, its chi will crumble in countless ways, and at that time, there's no need for the king to personally make a move to break open the Foothills Divine City. There's no good ending in going against His Majesty. Mo Yaika shook his head and said, Your Highness, I'm worried about Gu Hai. Hey, King Liu Yang's expression was solemn. And Shengren hasn't returned by today. I'm worried that I've already met Gu Hai. If Gu Hai joins forces with Divine Foothill Imperial Dynasty, that would be bad, Mo Yaika said worriedly. A strategist beside him said doubtfully, Mr. Mo, you're overthinking it. That Gu Hai is only one person. What can he do? Mo Yaik shook his head. I always have a bad feeling about this.